Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to OMWFLH Radio. Today in the news, Senator Roberts has been caught draining the lives out of newborn babies. In other news, 2-year-old sex workers released from basement of local politician. Townspeople wondering where they're going to find their underage sex now. Prospects on dens will be coming up further in the broadcast. But I am Chris Fearing, your host for the evening, and I'm joined on the table by
Where are we going with this stuff? Where are we going with this?
Just to that point.
Oh, okay. It's all really creepy and awkward. You leave to go to the bathroom, you're sitting here and kind of stood in silence. What do we do? Fuck you, Chris.
This was gonna be a podcast.
Well, at least I'm not as
Now
bad.
it's a grave.
I'm not as bad as Aaron over here.
What?
You remember that one time he started the podcast out talking about that 7-year-old girl that gave birth? You gross bastard on New Year's Eve of all time.
Was that New Year's Eve?
Yes,
oh,
it
that's
was.
right.
Dude, are we trying to top each other? Give me a couple more podcasts. I'll top you guys.
I'm sure.
I'll top you guys.
Okay, so it started with Aaron talking
just
about a
like,
7-year-old girl that gave birth.
This wasn't supposed to be a game like this.
Oh God. I'm making it one.
What have you turned this into, Aaron?
This is not my fault.
All right, so they know who I am. Who are you guys?
Capers.
Aaron Bass.
Drunks and Dragons.
Okay, you guys talk about that stupid British fag stuff. I'm gonna take a piss.
So this was, this will give you Chris's opinion on the show Doctor Who.
He said gay if you can't hear that. We're not sure yet.
He's like, "Goose."
So to preface everything, Aaron and I are rather large fans of the show. Justin's a cursory fan. He's getting into it. He's watched a bit of Doctor Who with us.
Yeah. I've watched
A good chunk.
I've watched half of Eccleston and
All of New Guy.
and all of
Capaldi.
and 2 Christmas specials of Matt Smith.
And those are just choice. But
No, they aren't. Or their choice bad.
But the point here is that Chris is not so much a fan of the show. So this podcast, he's not going to be partaking hugely in, and if he does, it's probably going to be to bash the show a little bit, which, whatever.
Well, counterpoint. I never fault anyone personally for what they do and do not like. I mean, I do.
I do.
I mean, I do all the time, but no.
Oh, well, okay, since we're doing Doctor Who, I want to get your opinion, Seth. What do you think of Capaldi now that we've been through this second season? You've been through it twice.
So there's Capaldi's been a little bit divisive. I fall down on the side of I love him. Gay.
Wait. Okay. Almost like, wait. Is he gonna go for it? Is he gonna go for it? And then you didn't take a dump in the microwave, and I'm like, damn.
Why?
I don't know. Next time. Okay. Good show.
But no, I like Capaldi. I got so damn tired of.
Was he an impressionist or?
No, the latest actor to be the Doctor.
No.
No.
Let him finish. You done? Are you done?
Go ahead. Talk about your old guys.
Okay.
Go.
So I like Capaldi partially because I really like that he's kind of unable to really understand people, which is kind of refreshing. And he's not a boy crush, which is really refreshing. And he's a grumpy old man, which is fucking awesome. But by the time Matt Smith ended, he had what I sometimes call Jack Sparrow syndrome. And the reason I call it Jack Sparrow syndrome is actually a point that Justin once made about the character Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean series, where in the first movie you hear all of these tall tales about Jack Sparrow, about how he got stuck on an island, but he got off by lashing sea turtles together with hair from his back, ha ha ha. But it was all bullshit, and he actually just got drunk and was rescued. By the third Pirates of the Caribbean movie, those legends were kind of sort of fact, based on the actions that Jack Sparrow took. Same thing kind of sort of happened to the Matt Smith Doctor, the 11th Doctor, or 12th Doctor, depending on what lore you're looking at. But the official 11th Doctor, I got so fed up with his just like, look at me, I'm zany and hipstery, that Capaldi was always going to be a breath of fresh air for me.
Yeah, and he's just able to walk through shit, I guess. Woo! You okay there?
Unlike Chris.
We still
all
have
good.
power. We still have power. We're
Yeah,
good.
we still have power. We're all good.
We're good. We have our janky ass.
Was that like fucking 11 or 12 thing because of that fucking stupid hand bullshit?
Yep.
Because that didn't make any damn sense.
Still doesn't.
But no, it's funny because the only doctors I've seen are Eccleston and Capaldi, which are probably like doctors that Chris would like if he saw the show as far as like the different doctors go. Because Eccleston's not retarded, and while he's still like got a little bit of zany, a little bit, and he's definitely British, he's actually like out to do things and is an active participant in the events that are happening. Capaldi, also the same thing, and they're both kind of dedicated to the cause, but in different manners. Like Eccleston has a lot of heart, it seems, because he cares, because he's on the road to redemption, and Capaldi is practical to the point of almost kind of cold, where it's just like, oh, can't save those people, they're fucked, and we'll just continue on the thing, be like, aren't you gonna try? Nah, they're dead. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
So like, they're both pretty awesome doctors, and they're not like Tennant or Smith. I feel like there's a lot of fans that came in around the Tennant and Smith era, so you got all these like young kids like, oh yeah!
Tennant is...
He's
Honestly, like,
he's
at work, that's the number one age. No. It's honestly, it's one or the other. It is either teenage. No, actually, it's not even that. It's either fucking middle school age boys that flock to the Doctor Who table and know what all this fucking stuff is, or be like, or just say like, "Who's that?" Or like, "Daddy, look, it's Doctor Who," and he's like, "I know what Doctor Who is. It's been around since the '70s." Like, no, it started
60s.
a couple years ago. Shit like that.
Oh God, that's my heart.
Kids
turning over
that
my
think
chest.
that
well,
Doctor Who
technically
started.
the show restarted.
Kids that think that Doctor Who only began with David Tennant. Or kids that go into the store and go like, "Oh, cool! I didn't know they made a Hunger Games book." Oh, oh, oh!
Them chillins need to learn something.
It's cold outside.
It is.
Hey man, why are there only 7 Harry Potter books when there were 8 movies?
Are you serious? That shit you hear?
Yes.
Wow, working at Barnes and Nobles is like living in like fucking horror land.
Are you allowed to kill these people?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, good lord.
But it's either like middle school boys or like these gross ass fucking late 20s, mid 30s women that come in. The kind that have like made themselves TARDIS dresses that are the size of the TARDIS.
I'm guessing you mean the inside too.
Oh, cool, on the outside you look like a TARDIS, and when the TARDIS comes off, you look like something H.P. Lovecraft writes about.
Harry Potter Lovecraft.
That's the noise it makes when the dress comes off and everything flops out.
Like does the whole Team Rocket like grab one end, throw the whole thing into the air in a whole piece?
Okay, but you guys were talking about halfway decent doctors.
But yeah, no, Capaldi's cool though, because Capaldi's dedicated to actually doing stuff in the episode. There's only like one episode that I can think of where the situation resolved itself kind of like, okay, maybe there was like a couple where like Capaldi didn't really have to do anything as much. Like the situation was going to resolve itself, and it was really more about them along for the ride. But that was only like a couple though.
It's funny that you should say that he's usually an active participant, because there are a couple episodes that I can think of that he's...
That's the point of
he's
his
actively
things.
not
Yeah,
a
trying to
participant.
stay out of it.
Like the episode Kill the Moon, he just fucking nopes.
Yeah,
Which,
he does.
to be-
And that was also one of the ones where it resolved itself.
It was, but I guess that was a huge point that he said nope. Because
Yeah.
it could have been. a lot worse, depending. Or at least, I guess, But I don't know. He's still, yeah. I like him though. I like him.
He's very cool.
I'm for totes on board. I'm for totes on board now. I liked Eccleston, and I was like, oh, the show's cool. The show's neat. It's all kinds of different stuff they're doing. I wonder where it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But I'm totally on board for like.
I loved the finale for that season,
Yeah.
and I think his relationship with Clara is really good. Like it's, I don't know, it has a little bit of that Donna Noble kind of sass back. Like she kind of doesn't take the doctor's shit, but still like relies and trusts on the doctor. So it's kind of it's what I want to see out of the companion relationship, I guess.
And I gotta say, I like Clara so much better now that she's not a plot convention for Matt Smith to solve, and she's actually a character.
Yeah.
I still think that there are some problems that the primary female character in the show has to have a male love interest, but she's so much better than she used to be.
Yeah, she really is.
It's so weird because I've only seen like a few of the Matt Smith episodes and their Christmas specials, but I'm like, who is this chick and why does she just kind of want to sleep with the doctor, but the doctor's too retarded to realize this?
That's why.
And then, because
And to think, that's Clara in both of those Christmas
because
specials.
she's cute, and then like in this season, she does a lot more things.
Yeah.
Does a lot more personality. And does a lot more things.
Yeah.
Actually, is doing stuff and actually being an actual dimensional human being. And being pissed at the doctor and being like, the fuck is your problem, bro? And he's all like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm the first Scotsman doctor, who knows?
He wasn't the first Scotsman, he's just the first one to use his accent.
Yeah, he's the first doctor with a Scottish accent. He's not the first Scottish actor to play the doctor. There have been two previous.
Well, yeah, you would know, you've seen some of the old shit too.
Yep.
Some of the old stuff where Doctor Who was a dude that wore a big hat, or, fedora with a fucking scarf. A really long scarf.
Fourth Doctor.
Fourth Doctor, that's apparently like the quintessential. That dude's like the.
But who's the one you think of when
Yeah.
you think of Doctor Who and the
like
old stuff?
That's like that image for the Doctor's like blue and gray for Batman. Like
Yeah.
blue and gray costume for Batman.
Yeah.
That's like one where it's like I've seen that.
Yeah.
As far as Doctor Who things go.
And don't put in the comments that David Tennant is, because it's not true. You shut up.
Good lord.
Stupid
People
16-year-olds.
People who like said, no, it was on a couple years ago. First of all, it's already kind of cringeworthy that they just not take their parents' word. Like, this is like, no, you're dumb. Like, you're dumb.
I know
Stop.
where Doctor Who is. You don't even know anything.
Children are stupid. Children are dumb. Children are these things.
We weren't this dumb when we were little.
Yeah. If
I
my
wish we
dad-
could record
if
ourselves.
my dad was like, no, it's been on since I'd be like, what? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what? And you can trust my dad because he remembers all kinds of, I'm gonna say useless shit. He remembers all kinds of like bizarre ass, weird trivia shit from the past. We'll be sitting there listening to the radio. He'd be like, the lead singer of the Cars used to always take the recordings out on tape as soon as they were done, run out to his car and listen to him, and that's how they got band, got their name. I was like, what? Really? And it's like, oh man, this song is sung by this singer, so and so and so and so. She died of like a heroin overdose in like 1992. She actually dated John Belushi or some shit. You're like, what the fuck, Dad? Can you please be on a game show and win us thousands and thousands of dollars? Because like you just know all these things.
Just hearing you and your parents go off about like '80s bands and listing those was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
because they did like 20 or something like
Yeah,
that.
because it was like so and so and so and so and so and so and this and that. And
Yeah.
they're like, fuck, like, it was like, who? What?
Blandy.
They were naming them. Man.
I don't understand why people would think that it starts with the fucking those hipster dudes.
Well, that's
I mean,
because
it
the
was a
show.
huge block show.
Yeah,
I know
the
that,
show was
but-
not on for how long?
But I mean,
From
come on.
87 to 90.
You can't forget-
2005.
It said it starts in black and white, and then there was the guy that looked like Mike with his long scarf and his pocket full of gummy bears.
That's the fourth one.
That's the fourth one.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
It was exactly Mike.
Yeah, no, when I was watching that Doctor, because we watched it
Mike
for
with the
episodes, I was sitting there, and I'm looking at Mike. I'm looking at Mike.
I'm looking
and
deep
like,
into Mike's
that
eyes.
Doctor looks just like fucking Mike. That is weird. Nah, he was cool though.
Maybe Mike.
with like this
Formed
really
everything
kind
off
of
of that
awesome,
doctor.
sinister voice.
And we just
too.
never knew.
Huh?
Like the Fourth Doctor to me has like an awesome, sinister voice. It's
Yeah,
like,
because it's deeper and he's a taller man.
Yeah.
So he's just like, when he says stuff and he's just talking about stuff, it's like, I should probably listen. It
Yeah.
sounds important. Even
and then
if
he's
it's
got this
bullshit.
like crazy grin too.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face. It's like, you're a mad scientist for just one, right? And it's like, probably.
Yeah.
And I think the Doctor's best when he's doing like minimalist retardation stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like, simple problem solving and trying to figure things out and stuff. It's cool because it's weird. He's like a detective and a scientist.
Yeah.
And an adventurer and an explorer. And I think the show's science fiction freedom gives it the same appeal that people latched on to Star Trek for. Like, oh, they could go anywhere and do anything and it'll be interesting.
Exactly.
And they could raise questions and be weird or have fun episodes or do serious episodes. And Doctor Who has kind of filled that gap. With the new Doctor Who series, anyway, has filled that gap that Star Trek has left open since they don't have any
Man,
Star Trek.
that is a great point. Yeah.
So now we have Doctor Who filling in for Star Trek, being like, here's our wacky science fiction adventures where we can raise all kinds of interesting questions and have fun times. We can be episodic, but still kind of continue and go on and build off of a lot of bases of lore.
Star Trek
Boom.
started out about the same time as original Doctor Who, I believe, 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, the 60s, yeah.
It was just kind of the American answer for it, the American equivalent.
Almost in a way, yeah. Everyone loves some Star Trek,
Yeah.
but there ain't no new Star Treks. And
Yeah.
there's all kinds of cool concepts you can do. A lot of them have been done before, though.
Nuh-uh, I saw Star Trek Into Darkness.
Super blood.
Super blood, super plot holes, super bullshit. Man, I don't think they're doing a third. Are they doing a third?
They probably still are. There's no way they're not going to make the money.
Yeah,
It's all about
that's
that money, you know.
Yeah, you're right. They probably have the money.
Directed by Michael Bay.
Directed by Nickel Baz.
Nickelback.
Directed by Nickelback.
That would be the worst thing ever.
Almost spit on my drink there.
No, I thought of an idea even for a Doctor Who script, and then I realized, man, I just probably want to keep that to myself actually,
Okay.
because it's like, man, broadcasted. But I had some ideas. But they were kind of neat, I thought.
I thought they were shit. That's a joke. I actually thought they were very, very good.
Oh, thank you.
They were shit.
You bastard. But yeah, man.
So Seth, I know Justin hasn't really heard, or like Justin's kind of gotten to talk about Capaldi, and I would assume that's your favorite Doctor based on what you've seen so far, right? Justin.
Mine? Oh yeah, no. My favorite Doctor so far, from what I've seen, is like Capaldi.
Yeah.
With like Eccleston in second, and then fuck all, and third and fourth, and then I don't know. Well, I haven't seen any Matt Smith, but I'm like, man, something tells me he's not going to tie in for third.
He's in his first season. He's not bad at all. He's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I like Matt Smith's Doctor, but at the same time, like he crashed and burned terribly, and it's really sad. But yeah, no, I was gonna ask Seth what his favorite Doctor was.
Man, that's a toss-up between two of them. The instinct is to say the seventh Doctor because I'm a hipster. But I like the seventh Doctor a lot, who's played by Sylvester McCoy, who, for those of you listening at home, is Radagast the Brown in the Hobbit movies. But I like the seventh Doctor a lot because he's...
It's all starting to make sense, isn't it, Chris? Chris had the look of like, I need to make a joke, and I had a realization.
No, that was me breathing in to say boo.
Oh.
Because I was watching all the behind the scenes stuff on the first extended edition of the first Hobbit movie. And everybody was like, I was so glad to get so-and-so and such to play Radagast because he's a great beloved actor down here in New Zealand. And then cut over to some fucking bitch who just does makeup and probably dumb as shit. And she just goes, and he's a Time Lord. And then started talking about that shit. And I'm like, oh God, no wonder these movies suck so bad now.
But I like the seventh Doctor because he's a bit of a trickster. He's a trickster, and he's a shady character that's willing to actually kind of sort of screw over his companions if it's gonna end up benefiting everybody else.
What a righteous dick.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But does he do it to throw them into danger?
He's done it before, yeah.
like watched one of them die in front of him?
No, that actually brings me to my other favorite, which would be the Fifth Doctor, who is sometimes thought of as the sentimental Doctor. And I like the Fifth Doctor a lot because he's a nice guy. He's a nice dude. And he also ends up becoming one of the more tragic Doctors because he is directly responsible for the death of one of his companions, and it haunts him until he regenerates into the Sixth Doctor, who's the dick.
Aren't they all the same person?
Yes, but
So wouldn't they like transfer memories and emotions and
The major,
knowledge
the
things?
major events,
major stuff.
but
Yeah,
not like small stuff. It's weird.
Well, no, it is the small stuff's. He's so long lived that it doesn't really matter. It'd be like, can you remember 400 years ago? Hey.
No, but I can remember what happened 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, and that's what I think he would be like. You know.
Then he would be able to remember the last incarnation.
yeah.
Yeah, and he does.
And the incarnation
No,
before that.
Not necessarily, because they're usually the incarnations are like they go hundreds of years. You don't see them all, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's like off-screen adventures. Lots of off-screen adventures.
Lots and lots of off-screen. He's a Time Lord. He pops in and out of time. So like when he teleports. So when he comes and like shows up and he's like, "Hey, wanna hop on the British Magic school bus and go do cool shit?" He's probably been gone for like a week, a year, 2 weeks, thousands of weeks, 500 years. Who knows? In the span of him seeing him today and then seeing him tomorrow morning. Like, so he'll go and do stuff. So like really hanging out with the Doctor, you'll age quicker.
Yeah.
Because you'll be spending chunks and days and hours of time outside of time, and you'll just come back, and you'll be all like, "Where'd you get that scar? Why are you all steady? You know, what happened to you?"
Yeah.
Like, depending on what happens in your misadventures. And it's like, I lost my eye. How did it heal over in a day? Don't ask. But you were going somewhere, right?
Yeah, I was actually just going to mention my favorite Doctor. Who, I mean,
Yeah,
as
who's
much
your favorite?
as much as as you know, I agree with you guys that it's stupid that the new show has kind of taken over the hearts and minds of fans these days, and is kind of the only thing young children know. My favorite Doctor is still David Tennant, and mostly it's just because he the episodes that he was in, the episodes that he was in were they were just really heartfelt, and I think a lot of the things that I liked about the Doctor I saw in this Doctor first.
Yeah.
So for me, it just comes down to the first experience.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, David Tennant, at least of the new Doctors, is easily the most human Doctor.
Yeah.
Which I would argue also kind of sort of makes him the most selfish.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot of selfishness in that, and that's not necessarily what I think the Doctor should be. I don't think the Doctor should be like David Tennant all the time. In fact, I think Capaldi is probably a better example of who the Doctor is. But just for I think he was just a fun character. He had his own energy about it. And you could tell that he cared about the character a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Aaron, I'll agree with you. I will say, though, that I think his era had some of the best written episodes in the series, but also some of like the worst written episodes. At least
it was very shaky
in the new series. I think Russell T Davies, when he's writing like small episodes that are let me rephrase. When Russell T Davies during his era, when there's a small episode that is like kind of sort of confined and is focused on the story itself and not on making things huge and epic, they are fantastic. I mean, let's think of Midnight. Let's think of Blink, which is actually written by Stephen Moffat, but whatever. But like his finales are sometimes. The ideas are so ludicrous and the execution is so trying to be epic that it's like, what the fuck show are we even watching anymore?
Yeah.
It's like Michael Bay without a budget.
So there's just blatant racism and shots of girls' asses and explosions.
Yeah, I don't think
pointless racist robots, racist effects that don't make you think.
And helicopters.
Yeah,
Gratuitous shots of
helicopters. Gratuitous shots of the American military blowing up robots that are all like, and then they get blown to pieces.
Please, can that be the name of this episode?
Jesus.
Seriously, man, there are some Transformers in those movies that are like racist caricatures.
Oh yeah,
that I
absolutely
find offensive. My white, almost Jewish ass, I'm like, holy shit, man, can we get away with this? I'm looking around in the theater like to see like if they're African Americans and if they're really pissed. I'm about to like duck and hide. 'Cause I'd be pissed too. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is bullshit, Michael Bay. What are you doing?
Justin, you don't need to apologize on behalf of your entire race.
God.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit. I'm not responsible. I did not make that Transformers movie. How the fuck you can say that like one of the presidents?
William.
Well, you had to make room for all the
Yeah,
Pathfinder
I'm
knowledge.
fucking it up so hard. I'm like,
I did not make that Transformers movie.
I had to make that Transformers movie.
There you go. There you go. Stick with that.
Bless you. Bless you twice. Counting on. Gotta watch that at some point.
Yes.
And that's also zany and British.
Not at all British.
No, but like, man, yeah, Doctor Who's cool. Everyone knows that the best villain that the Doctor has is the Daleks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say a loaded statement like, oh yeah, best villain, Daleks.
They're classic.
They're classic as balls. But I like them because they're just really simple, but not really simple. Or I mean, they're simple in the way that like the Terminator's simple. Here's the thing: it's made of metal. It doesn't like people. It's gonna kill everyone.
It's got a midget inside.
Stop.
It's got a Cthulhu
That's R2D2
inside.
actually. Stop it. It's got a once human inside. That dude that was transforming into Dalek in that fucking old episode I came in on when you were watching.
Oh, yeah, that was gross.
Like, oh my god, this is
Sixth
awful.
Doctor.
And that guy's like telling his daughter, "Kill me!" And you're
Oh,
just like,
yeah.
oh shit, this is how they make Daleks. That's even better. 'Cause it's way fucked up.
No, for some reason that happens a lot.
The ultra-
People getting turned into Daleks.
Yeah, but the Daleks were cool.
Oh yeah.
When that Dalek was all like in the mind of spoiler alert for Capaldi and shit, that was
Yeah.
great. And there was a Dalek that hated other Daleks because all the Daleks basically just hang on their own racist club where it's just like it's us versus the entire world, and the only solution for the entire world is kill everybody. So the Daleks just show up as trash cans rolling around. They got like space shields and they got like laser beams
And
they like have
plungers.
super high technology. They just run around yelling exterminate and just murdering everybody like cockroaches. And basically they found a Dalek and they're like, we need a doctor to fix this Dalek. And the doctor's like, no thanks, just let it die, whatever. And the thing wants to kill Daleks and he's like, wait, what? So they go inside to see what's wrong so they can fix it because it's dying. And then they fix it and then it turns out like the problem inside was making it go crazy, wanting to kill Daleks, and it wanted to kill everyone else again. And then he has to like mind meld with it. He's like trying to like win it back over, and what instead it does is like, I see the hatred for my people in you. That's awesome. And then is convinced to kill Daleks out of that. Like it's quite literally convinced to kill Daleks out of the hatred that the Doctor has. And it's like, that's not what I meant. Ooh, I'm a horrible person, aren't I? It's great.
Yeah.
I like that episode.
It is a good one.
I do too, but I think the episode Dalek actually kind of does almost the same exact thing, only simpler and more concise. Dalek is from the Ninth Doctor. You've seen it.
Yeah, actually, I
Yeah.
saw that episode.
Yeah.
I like that episode a lot too. But it's been so long since I saw it that I'd forgotten like the particulars of like some of the events.
It raises a lot of the same questions without being so heavy-handed as like the Doctor actually having to go inside the Dalek.
That's part of the issue I have with Daleks. Is just they're old. Like they're so old that they've done everything with them so much that they have to think of like crazy things to make them relevant again.
Yeah.
Or like make it interesting or new. And a lot of times they're still having to like push from the old stuff.
And they feel like they can kind of. I've seen them do more with Daleks than I've seen them do with Cybermen though.
Oh yeah.
And because Cybermen are just like, we're robots that kill everyone too, guys. And it's like, the Daleks are kind of like,
Well, that they took
you're copycats.
They took the Cyberman shtick when they made so much stuff about like the Daleks or humans turning into Daleks because the humans get transformed into the Cybermen too. That's their thing.
Cybermen were once humans, and technically still are human. They've just had all emotion totally erased. Think of them kind of as the Borg.
Yeah, really, they are the precursor.
Only the Borg are frightening as fuck. Can I get a holler? Can I get a holler for first contact up in here?
Holla.
Woo, woo. Oh my god. That's frightening.
I am not a Star Trek fan.
Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. But what?
You would probably really like Jean-Luc Picard too.
You would probably really like.
Oh, I know, and I've seen.
You've seen the first episode with me, and no.
Yeah, and I've seen a few episodes of Next Generation since then. I've seen a bunch of the Jean-Luc Picard movies, and it's
Damn. Damn.
Man, there's some old episodes, I'm sure. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you'd be like, I don't know. There's some old episodes that are really good too and stuff, you guys. The old movies, not the first movie though.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Star Trek: The Motion Pictures, awful.
I like Wrath of Khan.
Wrath of Khan's good. Of course you like Wrath of Khan. Fucking Ricardo Montalban sails around in a spaceship trying to kill fucking Shatner and quoted Shakespeare.
And
who doesn't like that?
I think I just like the ones that have
Quote Shakespeare, Undiscovered Country.
Yeah, Undiscovered Country is my other favorite one.
I liked Undiscovered Country
because it's fucking Christopher Plummer reciting
that
Hamlet.
shit was dark. Undiscovered Country, when they shut down the fucking gravity on the Klingon ship.
Yeah.
And the two guys just teleport aboard with gravity boots and spacesuits, just walking through, shooting everyone while they're floating and helpless. The lasers go right through them and their blood just comes out in bubbles that just float everywhere.
And it looks so good in that CGI.
Flying away with little stuff everywhere.
And that 92 CGI.
Okay, the special effects are dated, but it's a neat concept. They just kill everyone and walk away, and it's damn, that was cold as fuck, but it was awesome.
I have a Doctor Who creature that I'd like to bring up just now. I'd like to bring up the Weeping Angels.
Oh boy.
Aaron, I'm gonna throw something at you, and I'd like you to give me your opinion here.
Okay.
The Weeping Angels are only effective in the first episode in which they appear.
I'd agree 100%. I mean, every time, you've already said this, every time that they show up, they get worse and stupider. They have more rules, and there's just less interesting things going on about them, and it's not scary anymore. It stopped being really interesting after the first one. With the Planet of the Angels, it was. Yeah.
They're okay. So Chris, they're apparently a weird race. They look like statues, and they can't do anything.
I've seen Blink.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. You've seen more than I have. I've been told all about this shit. But that's apparently them.
Yeah.
But apparently they have no rules when they show up.
That's good lord.
Yeah. I mean, I think Blink is cool and sets them up to be very unique because it's well shot. The storytelling is done in such a way that actually makes them intimidating, and yet they don't actually kill you when they get you. And then we get to the story that has the 11th Doctor with the fucking the planet of the angels or whatever the hell the episode's called, and then it's all of a sudden here are the rules to how they can kill you. It's what?
So wait, how do they kill you in Blink then?
They don't. What they do is when they touch you, they send you back in time, and they feed off of the temporal energy.
That's right.
So I mean, that's why when you see the old guy in the hospital, it's the same guy that you met that character met 5 minutes earlier, and he was young and in his 20s and hitting on her, and then the next time she sees him, he's old and decrepit and on his deathbed, and it's because the angels got him.
But so what happens in there's a planet of these things?
Yeah,
do they fucking talk and everything too?
No, they don't. I mean, the same rules for how they interact with the living is kind of sort of the same, because if you look at them, they still have to they turn into stone, and if there's a couple of them in the same place, they always cover their face so that they they don't catch each other and permanently turn themselves into stone. But then they add this rule to where if you catch the reflection of one in your eye or something like that,
something dumb like that.
Yeah, it's
and then in an image of one, you can become an angel or something like that.
It's a ham-fisted attempt to be poetical and change the rules by doing that, and it doesn't work.
That's dumb. God, that's dumb.
And it doesn't work. And then, you know, they fucking have the episode "The Angels Take Manhattan," which is like,
Oh yeah, they have baby weeping angels in that one, and the Statue of Liberty is just a giant weeping angel in that one. So, yeah.
also the Amy and Rory should have died.
Yeah. No, that
Shit.
I liked the
I'll just stick with 173. Jesus Christ.
the I like the way Amy and Roy went out, or at least I don't know. It was that felt good to me, complete to me. But the way, it was a bad episode, even still.
Well, you gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. It's Doctor Who in a nutshell, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
There's good episodes. There's shit episodes. Episodes right shape. Right shape and clock pants.
And that's not even getting into the Doctor's wife.
Do you mean the episode "The Doctor's Wife," or do you mean the character, the Doctor's
The
wife?
character, River.
Okay. River, wasted potential.
Yeah.
But the episode about the TARDIS, the Doctor's Wife, is really good. Written by Neil Gaiman. I like it anyway. So,
Favorite episode, go.
I know mine. It's Family of Blood, and the two-parter one.
good one.
The both Family of Blood and I forget the second half, but it's the one where the Doctor is being chased by a creature that can always find him. So he basically, for all intents and purposes, becomes human and erases his own mind and puts all his memories in this watch and tells his companion, we gotta sit out in Victorian England for a while. Don't do anything. And so he lives this double life and has this other personality, and this it's a great episode because you see, David Tennant just be this other person who doesn't want the responsibilities of the Doctor anymore.
And it's one of the few episodes in the series that actually deals with race because his companion at the time is African, is English African, and to be black in the Victorian era was very different than it used to be in these. So they get to deal with race a little bit, which is kind of cool to see. But yeah, I'd agree. It's a pretty solid episode. It's got the actor that plays Viserys in Game of Thrones, so gold crown bitch face guy, Smuggy Smug McSmuggerson cunt.
You knew him as, I think you had the nickname of
Quicksilver. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Quicksilver. That's the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy. I think my favorite episode. And it's hard to answer that because the old episodes were not actually singular episodes. They were stories told through either 2 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, they were half hour long, but then they were part 1, 2, 3, and 4. They were long episodes, quote unquote stories.
I'm really I'm gonna go probably with the Curse of Fenric, which is a 7th Doctor story, right? That's yes,
yeah.
Okay, because there's 2 of them that are kind of similar. Curse of Fenric is a 7th Doctor story, and I like it because it really does show Jesus. That is, he farted.
Yeah.
It's bad. You're happy you're not here.
Yeah.
Dear listeners, we are dying. This is our final broadcast.
Jesus.
You know what? The sauce that you made, I'm not having that next time.
So
I'm not having the sauce that you made next time. It's good. I don't know if it was worth it.
No.
It wasn't.
Have a bowl of that with breakfast one day before you go to work.
If I could somehow cap it in a jar and then unleash it so maybe the ball falls under the sun, it'd be great.
Nice.
Leave it on a slow timer bomb or something in a fucking hospital.
God.
So, Curse of Fenric. I like it because it does show just how much of a bastard the Seventh Doctor can be, and how willing he is to throw his companions under the bus. Because what it culminates in is there are these creatures that essentially they're kind of like vampires, but they go after the person that's got the most faith in the group. And towards the end of the episode, the person that actually has the most faith is the companion Ace, and she has the most faith in the Doctor. So, like, in order to save her life, the Doctor has to be a complete dick to her and make her totally lose faith in him. And it's just like this really cool question of morality, which is, morality is one of my favorite things that science fiction can explore. It was a really cleverly executed and set up plot to explore that very question.
It's an awesome villain. Like that.
Yeah.
It really has a crazy awesome finale.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that-
and they're Viking vampire creature things.
yeah.
Vikings are a vampire.
But I mean, it wasn't like Fenric itself. Fenric.
It was a dragon, right? It was like kind of sort of like.
Yeah, and I remember there's extra lore about his character that you can read. I think that sounds pretty awesome. But I forget all the details.
But yeah, Curse of Fenric. It's cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man.
Justin, what's your favorite episode?
Man, I've watched such a limited smattering now. I'm not actually sure if I have a favorite episode at this point.
Out of the ones you've watched, which one do you like the most?
I don't know. It's hard. There are a lot of them that I'm like, oh man, that's a good one. Oh man, that's a good one for this moment. Oh man, that's a good one for this moment. I have to think. I'd have to really think on that, actually. So for right now, I just don't have a favorite just for like not having it watched as much. But as I watch more, I'm sure I'll find that one where I'm like, oh yeah, man.
I remember you liking Flatline, the one with the 2D creatures that are trying to be 3D.
Yeah, I was going to
That
mention
was just
that.
cool because like the special effects in that one were really impressive.
Yeah.
That was neat. Oh, that one is really good because like the Doctor stays trapped. The TARDIS is shrunk on the outside, so he's got like a little door that he has to like peek through, so he can't do anything. So he has to just kind of like pass ideas and fit in directions a little bit, like to the companion. So it's kind of like a little bit more her show. And since she's just got him in a box in her purse, she can just be like, haha, I'm gonna do this, and he's just like inside like, oh my god, no. So no, that was good. That was a really good one actually.
Yeah.
That's a really good one, but I don't know if I want to like dedicate that to my favorite. I want to be a bastard and be like, oh, it'll probably be something with Daleks the more I watch though, because I do like them. They're like a good villain. You have an intelligent, interesting character who fights like this stereotypical 2D, like, I kill everyone robot monster.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's such a simple villain.
And they have
Such
the
a
most
complex
hideous
hero.
call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doctor!
Exterminate.
Extract. Like, they're just assholes.
Exterminate.
Exterminate. That's another inside joke, by the way, Chris. My bad.
What?
Exterminate.
Okay.
It's like if... I don't know how it got to it, but like...
We were talking about like what if how you can go on huge adventures and come back, and where you're talking about your dad.
My dad goes on a huge adventure, comes back, and he's part Dalek.
Yeah.
He's got a rubber tube thing that sticks out with a thing on the end, and he's just like, well, you see, I'm part Dalek. Exterminate. He just adds exterminate on the end of all of his sentences for punctuation.
No, but like the way we thought of it is he uses the word exterminate like Ethan Kleisch uses the word okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's not exterminate, it's exterminate. Like, it's like, no, my dad like mispronounces the way he like mispronounces deodorant or something. Like deodorant, deodorant or how.
Deodorant.
It's weird. It's Spanish.
I like
It's
the way he
Spanish.
says sorcerer. He's like saucer or something.
Saucer?
Yeah.
No, I've got to have a guy with a bunch of saucepans thrown in his saucer.
Holy shit. But either way, thank you for joining us once again, folks, for another Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast. And I'm going to pass it over to one of these guys to give us our ending quote. Just nod when you got one you want to say. Anytime.
Exterminate.
That's it then.